is surely worship, but then there is so much more than work. Life is when you take a chill pill and relax some time with people that you love, doing things that you enjoy doing. Today, we students of class 8 from Jimp Pioneer School gathered here for an interview program. I am interviewer Priyanka from class 8 and I am going to ask my fellow classmates questions about how they spend their leisure time. So let's start the interview. And here my first question is for Anuj. Anuj, do you think people today have more time to relax compared in the past?
We do have more time to relax now compared with the amount we had in past, thanks to a great number of technological advances which are gradually replacing people involvement in many fields. However, many people now are refusing to take a break, perhaps because they just don't want to be redundant in the modern society. Thank you.
Thank you, Anuj. Now here is Shlok. Shlok, I would like to know your opinions about the same question that Anuj answered. Do you think people today have more time to relax compared in the past?
I certainly believe that people are more busy compared with their past counterparts. Earlier people lived a content life. With the changing of time, people are less satisfied with what they have, are always on lookout for doing more. This has made life much more hectic than ever. Thank you.
True, this had made life much more active than ever. Now here, my another friend is Dia. Dia, I have a question for you. Do you prefer staying at home or going out during evenings?
Well, I love taking long walks, so whenever I'm not busy in evening time, I usually take long walks with my friends or for that matter even alone. Thank you.
Nice to know you, Dia. Now here, Sujin, I want you to answer the same question that Dia answered, but in your way. Do you prefer staying at home or going out during evenings?
It's like an everyday dilemma. My heart always insists me to go out and have some fun, but my mind would say no to that seemingly irrational idea. Well, my deadlines are there, my work isn't finished, so most of time I would stay at home. Thank you.
Thank you, Sujin. Now here I have my another friend Anjali. Anjali, do you think old and young people both spend their leisure time in the same way?
In my opinion, unfortunately, no. Family bonds would be strengthened significantly if this would happen in their real life. However, it's no surprise that the youth and elderly hardly ever share the same interests due to the huge generation gap. There's no chance that they would do the same thing in their spare time. You are most likely to find the youngsters on their phone, and on the other hand, the adult would do some conventional activities such as playing chess. Thank you.
Thank you, Anjali. True, nowadays mobile phones are like our lives. We just can't leave them. Now here, my another friend is Avantika. Avantika, what do you usually do in your weekends?
Well, I am not a party animal, so during weekends I always refuse all the party invitations from my friends, and I would also like to visit a cafe on my own and indulge myself with a nice cup of Earl Grey and some new books I found on Amazon. But I think that couldn't be more perfect for a Sunday afternoon. Thank you.
True, Avantika, there is nothing that could be more perfect than this for a Sunday afternoon. Now, my next question is for Aisha. Aisha, how do you spend your weekends?
As I mentioned earlier, I am quite a loner and I really enjoy that part of myself. So during weekend I would usually find something to do my own, like redecorating my room, going to a cafe all alone, or finding a quiet spot in my home to do some crossword and quizzes. So I really like to enjoy time by myself. Thank you.
Thank you, Aisha. It was nice, but I would suggest you to find some good companies too. Now, my next question is for Divyanshi. Divyanshi, how did you start doing the activities that you really love at first?
Actually, my life didn't used to revolve around work. A few years ago, I used to lead a quite busy social life back in university, so it took me a whole year to get used to my current lifestyle. Not in a natural way, but it has.
Thank you, Divyanshi. Now, my another friend is Anshika. And Anshika, I would like to know, how do you spend your spare time?
It varies. I mean, it depends on the amount of free time I have. A few weeks ago, I would normally immerse myself in a light novel during lunch breaks or after dinner. But these days, I'm just too busy with my work that the only thing I crave is some sleep. So all my spare time would be devoted by taking a quick nap. Thank you.
Thank you, Anshika. Well, a quick nap is also good for your spare time. Now, my next question is for Vanshika. Vanshika, is there any difference in your life now from when you were a child?
This is an intriguing question since I honestly don't know what to tell you, but overall my life has changed considerably compared to what it was throughout my childhood. Everything from my feeling, my thought to my relationship or accommodations is so different that now I nearly have no recollections about the past. Thank you.
Thanks, Vanshika. Neither I do have any recollections from my past to tell someone anything about it. So here, Mohit, I have my next question for you. How much time do you usually have on your weekends to do the activities that you really love?
If you are asking for a specific numbers of hours, I guess I have to say just a couple of hours per day probably. Thank you.
Thank you, Mohit. Now, my next question is for Neeraj. Neeraj, as you know, life nowadays is very hectic. But I would like to know what you do usually after your work or your classes.
There is nothing much that can be done after work because it's really become quite tiring. So most of the time I am either working on my blog or writing something or some drafts here and there. Thank you.
Thank you, Neeraj. Now, reaching to the end of the interview, my second last question is for Prince. Prince, do you like to travel in your holidays?
As long as it's a long holiday, for example TET or summer holidays, I just honestly don't want to go away for 2-3 days because that would leave me no time to enjoy myself. Thank you.
Thank you, Prince. Nice to know how you like to spend your holidays. Now, my last question is for Ria. Ria, how do you usually spend your time at evenings?
Yeah, nice question. It's the same every day. I just keep running around in circle, going to work, coming back home, working at home, then going back to the work the next morning. That's why the evening is somehow just another chance for me to satisfy my workaholic self. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you, Ria. Now, this was our interview from class 8. This activity was organized to improve the communication skills of the students and for their personality development. I personally thank everyone who watched this video or listened to this. Thank you from the bottom of my heart.